Hello everybody, welcome back to the Jeremy Apiary. A little overcast and windy, but very warm today, hence ventilated bee suit time. Gonna check on the hives here. I have a sneaky suspicion Hive 1 may have swarmed. As a result, I did not see the queen the last time I checked, but I did see queen cups. Let's see what it looks like today and check on Hive 2 and 3 and see if we have some brood. I moved this hive and we had a little oopsie on this frame. Actually, it's the next frame, and lost half of a comb. But we're rebuilding that already, and this is all resources here that way in the back of the hive. You would expect that to be the case. This is the comb that dropped. They're putting it back together pretty nicely. Lost a lot of comb. It wasn't a full comb, but it was close to it. So that's a shame, but I put it outside for them to recollect at least. Oh gosh, that is full. Woo! Now this frame is full of drone cells. Those are those lumpy, bumpy ones compared to the brood cells you see all around it. That's a queen cup for sure. That's definitely a queen cup. Swarm cell. And again, what I don't see are eggs. Yeah, I see brood are opening here. I don't see any eggs. I don't think we got a queen in here. We're going too soon. But yeah, that queen absconded. She swarmed out. At this point, it was pretty much just time to close things up and let the new queen emerge, which she will emerge probably in a few days and then have to do her mating flight, and then she will start laying eggs and keep this hive going. But natural part of the process is swarming. I don't know where this one went, but this hive should do fine. Now, I saw this as a good opportunity, actually, since the queens were all not accounted for anymore, to go ahead and do a mite count. I hadn't done a mite count before. This hive was from last year, and I thought it was time. So I did do an alcohol wash, and I found one mite in the 300 bees that were there. They're a little bit creepy looking when you get up close, but that's actually not bad. That's actually pretty good. Almost near perfect conditions right there. If you get too high of a mite count per 300, which then gives you representation of your overall hive, then a lot of people do treat with oxalic acid. Other people say don't treat and let the hive die. That way you're selecting out weaker genetics potentially and only keeping strains of bees alive that are more resistant to mites. Some of the counter arguments to that is you're just making mite bombs that can potentially infect a lot of other hives, and there's nothing natural about beekeeping in the first place with boxes and artificial environments, and it goes back and forth. I'm not really going to weigh in on that. I don't have enough experience at this point, but those are the things that are out there. Moving on to the Hive 2 inspection, I started off with one of the back frames that is just better comb, which they haven't really done much with, maybe a little bit of storage. And the next frame was a borrowed one from Hive 2 that had died in the past, where they were using it for storage. Next frame is better comb again, where they are building off of the bottom and doing some storage on top, even a little bit of capped honey, which is nice. So I didn't see any eggs at that point, and I was wanting to make sure this queen was laying. This next frame, however, which was just a wax foundation originally that they drew out, does have eggs on it, which is fantastic. They look like little silvery grains of rice. Doesn't show up great on the video, but they are definitely there throughout this frame. And there is the queen. So that is, of course, great news. We have a laying queen in Hive 2 after the package installation, so things are moving along nice. The next frame was another foundation frame. And the following one was more borrowed resources from the hive that had died with beautiful pollen pattern, just really fantastic pollen all throughout. And as my wife had pointed out, it's better to have it stored there than have it floating around in the air and getting in your nose and making you sneeze if you have seasonal allergies. Nothing else to do but close it up. We know that there's a laying queen and it's fantastic, and move on to Hive 3. Hive 3 looking a couple of frames in now, better comb, a little bit of drawing out going on, a little bit of resources and pollen being stored, nothing too exciting yet. And so far the Better Comb by Better Bee experiment they are building off of the bottom easily. There is a small hive beetle on this frame that you're going to see. The colony isn't very large yet, so some of those will build up, but in the north here, they're not that much of an issue. Here he is in slow motion. Creepy little guys, I know. Another nice resource frame. This is one of the frames that was borrowed from the Hive 2 that died out. They're doing a great job storing pollen and other resources in there. Always curious to see what they're going to do with all the different things. Yeah, beautiful pollen pattern. The next frame was the frame I was looking for. This is a foundation frame that they drew out, and it does have eggs throughout. I can't really see them on there, but the eggs are there. It even actually had some larvae, which is fantastic. So going well, we have a laying queen also in Hive 3. This next frame was a better comb. They're drawing it out very well. There were some eggs in the drawn out portion, but not in the better comb pre-made wax cells themselves. And somebody had asked me if I had ever seen that in there. Well, so far, no. We'll see where it goes from here, however, and see if they end up placing any eggs in there. And the final frame was another resource frame that was borrowed from Hive 2 that they've been filling up with beautiful amounts of pollen. Overall, fantastic news. Hive 1 may have swarmed, but there's lots of queen cells and looks like they're going to be okay. Hive 2 and Hive 3 have laying queens, so things are well. Hope to see you next time. Remember to like and subscribe. JRB Apiary, out.